What if I told you that the so-called Unsinkable ship sank on its maiden voyage? Let's take a step back and journey to the early 20th century, a time when the world was on the brink of colossal changes. It was during this era that the Titanic, an engineering marvel, was brought to life. The conception and construction of the Titanic were nothing short of extraordinary. The ship was a product of the Industrial Revolution, a testament to human ingenuity and technological prowess. She was built in the Harland and Wolff shipyard in Belfast, Ireland. The construction process was a gargantuan task, involving over 15,000 workers and taking nearly 3 years to complete. The Titanic was one of the largest and most luxurious ships of her time. She stretched over 880 feet long, about the length of 4 city blocks. The Titanic was designed to be the epitome of comfort and opulence. From the grand staircase to the sumptuous first-class cabins, the ship was a floating palace. She was equipped with state-of-the-art amenities such as an onboard gymnasium, heated swimming pool, and even a Turkish bath. The ship's dining options were equally impressive, with a Parisian-style cafe and a grand dining saloon that could seat over 500 guests. But it wasn't just the Titanic's size or luxury that made her stand out. The ship was also celebrated for its advanced technology, including a double-bottomed hull and 16 watertight compartments designed to keep the ship afloat even in the event of a serious breach. This innovative design led many to believe that the Titanic was unsinkable, a claim that was boldly advertised by the ship's owners. The Titanic was a symbol of human achievement, a representation of the limitless possibilities of technology. It was a ship that promised to conquer the vast and unpredictable Atlantic, offering a safe and luxurious passage to all aboard. But, as we now know, the Titanic was far from unsinkable. So, the Titanic set sail on its maiden voyage filled with hope and promise. But what went wrong? As the largest moving object ever built by mankind at the time, Titanic departed from Southampton on April 10, 1912. Carrying over 2,200 souls, she was a marvel of engineering and luxury. Cruising through calm seas, the atmosphere on board was one of excitement and anticipation. Little did the passengers know, the ship was racing towards a deadly obstacle. The North Atlantic was peppered with icebergs, a common hazard in these waters. Even though multiple iceberg warnings were received via the ship's wireless radio, they were largely ignored. The ship, deemed unsinkable, was thought to be invincible against such threats. The weather on the night of April 14th was unusually calm and moonless, making it even more difficult to spot the danger lurking in the distance. The lookouts didn't see the iceberg until it was too late. Despite the crew's best efforts to steer clear, the iceberg scraped along the starboard side of the ship, breaching 5 of her 16 watertight compartments. The so-called unsinkable ship had met her nemesis. The tragedy of the Titanic serves as a stark reminder of the perilous nature of sea travel and the hubris of man. A tragic collision with an iceberg sealed the Titanic's fate. So how did the unsinkable Titanic sink, and what happened next, you might ask? The Titanic, revered as an engineering marvel, met a cruel fate on its maiden voyage. On the night of April 14, 1912, the ship struck an iceberg, tearing open its hull. The vessel, designed to stay afloat with 4 of its 16 compartments flooded, was doomed when 5 compartments filled with water. Despite the immediate danger, the severity of the situation wasn't fully grasped. Distress signals were sent out, but the nearest ship, the Carpathia, was 4 hours away. Panic ensued. Lifeboats were launched, but herein lay another problem. The Titanic, carrying over 2,000 passengers and crew, had lifeboats for only around half that number. The lifeboats were launched, some barely half filled, in the icy Atlantic. Over 700 people survived the ordeal, rescued by the Carpathia, which arrived at the scene in the early hours of April 15th. However, more than 1,500 souls perished in the freezing ocean, a tragic loss of life that still echoes through time. The sinking of the Titanic was a wake-up call to the world. It led to significant changes in maritime safety regulations, including adequate lifeboat provision and improved iceberg monitoring. The Titanic's sinking was a tragic event that shook the world and forever changed maritime safety regulations.